Hey guys, welcome back into the studio. I am your host, Travis Fulton. Time to have some fun and break down the swing of Sam Burns, his 5th win now on the PGA Tour, after capturing his biggest tournament, the World Golf Championships, Dell Technology Match Play in Austin, Texas. Really a bummer that that tournament is going away. Hopefully Match Play will come back in some capacity next year. Sam put on a great performance. A great ball striking performance. We know Sam is one of the best putters on the PGA Tour, but I think a ball striking machine when he gets it going, when that fade is dialed in. Works with Brad Pullen, his longtime coach from Louisiana. Of course, Sam from Louisiana, went to Louisiana State University and has really become a star on the PGA Tour at the age of 26. This golf swing, I don't think is a swing that gets enough credit. It's a swing that's built to hit this little patent fade, and when you see a fade, you're gonna see that path working to the left, and you're gonna see that club face, of course, just slightly open to that path. A couple things when you look at Sam's setup position that I think are important. Sam was struggling at the early part of this year, in particularly in Orlando at the Arnold Palmer Invitational. And what I noticed with Sam is his feet were way closed relative to his shoulders. Now he always does that a little bit. His feet always look a little bit more closed than his shoulders. Shoulders a little more open to the left. You don't see a lot of that top of the left forearm like you'll see with some players. And of course, when you get your shoulders a little more left, that's just gonna help you kind of get your path working more to the left. I think this is probably something he works on with that stick on the ground, is to get his feet and shoulders more aligned, or maybe his shoulders are just slightly open relative to his feet. Now, the other thing you'll notice with Sam is his hands set pretty low. He's a player that'll set the handle down pretty low, butt of the club pointing just under the belt buckle. And normally when you see that, that player won't have a lot of room between the body and the hands. And now that's important and has relevance because when your hands start close, your hands will want to work a little bit away from your body early. And Sam tries to keep his hand path very much working inside in this first part of the backswing. Check this out here as we take it back. That hand path staying to the inside. You can almost see it there as he started back. It was wanting to kind of go this way, but as he was going, he was turning. He's getting his hands to follow that turn. Hands working in, not hands working away. Club face, great position, nice and square. That hand path working in has a lot of relevance because he really likes to get good depth in his lead arm. Depth is when that lead arm is working around the body. Check this out here. I think he would be very happy with this. Brad Pullen, his coach, would be very happy with that left arm covering up that right shoulder. Right? See that lead arm covering up that right shoulder, that left arm not, say, upright, where you would see that right shoulder in between the elbows there. So hand path working in, lead arm working more around, covering that shoulder, versus hand path working out and lead arm working up. He needs depth, and he needs depth still to hit that fade, because what Sam likes to do and the way his pivot works is when he starts down, you're gonna see his hand path working more out this way, not down, but more out this way. Check this out as we play it slow on the way down. Hand path. Yes, it's gonna come down, but it's also gonna work more out towards the golf ball. And as his hand path works more out to the golf ball, you'll see his lead arm when it gets parallel to the ground right here. Okay, that club shaft now is a little bit higher than that right form. And that's where you see guys that fade the golf ball, that shaft very much on top of that right form, say laying down versus on the right form. You see like Rory and guys that like to draw it, they'll get that shaft more down on that right form. That shaft very much on the top side of that right form, the left arm out in front of him. And then from there now, he can just turn the corner and let that thing work back around to the left. Watch where this club exits. It's gonna exit well under this left shoulder. See that right there? That club shaft exits well under that left shoulder. That is a swing direction that is working well to the left versus out to the right, where you would see the shaft with the higher exit. And I also love that club face looking back towards the camera. We're gonna get to that here in a second. But you're really seeing the goods here of what makes a golf swing kind of get back out in front of the player, and then the ability to really rotate instinctively to the left. So we go back to address again. Sam, try not to get this way. Try not to get too much this way. We're trying to get more in and around. So when we come down, now the hand path can get back out in front, the lead arm can get back out in front, the club right back on the toe line, and then I can just keep turning and let it exit back around under the left shoulder. A stock, beautiful fade pattern. Where he will struggle is when he doesn't get that depth. When the lead arm's up here and then he starts down, now it's too far out in front. Now it's too far out in front, and when he turns the corner, he can hit pulls. And when he doesn't want to hit a pull, then he'll just kind of hang on and the face will stay open, and then he'll hit some wipes. And that's what I was seeing with the driver. He was hitting a lot of wipes out to the right. And believe it or not, all of that stems from probably a little bit of the setup and getting good depth in the backswing. So from there, he can then work the pivot the way that he knows how and cover it and back around to the left. So it's really interesting how the backswing plays into a lot of fade patterns, and it's not so much up and down to the left, it's depth, right? It's getting a good turn and depth so you can bring it back down in front of you and then turn the corner back to the left. Now, let's talk about the club face for a second. Watch this club face halfway back right there. See the toe slightly down. Hand path working in, club face, toe slightly down. Absolutely love that right there. Now we go up to the top of the swing. Here comes the turn, right hip turning. Give me some depth. Flat left wrist, love that. Now you can't see the club face there, but what it looks like with Sam is right there. That club face, you'll see some of it from that camera angle. That toe is not hanging this way. That club face is looking a little bit back towards the camera. That flat left wrist or maybe a little flex left wrist will help. That club face is in a fantastic position. He's got great depth, and now as he starts down with that pivot and that club starts to work back out in front of him, watch the club face right here. That club face is not open. It's really easy to get that club face right there to get open in transition, right? You think about it with the change of direction, even though it's square here and it's square here, as I start down, it'd be really easy to let that club face kind of fan open. What you're seeing is you're seeing Sam keep that face in check all the way down to here. There's almost like this little curling of the left hand to get the face looking a little bit more down to the ground as it gets to delivery here. Look at that toe kind of curled down rather than say this way where the toe is pointing behind me. So I love that left hand position, some flexion, club face is secure as the lead arm works back down in front. And then from there, it is just the green light. It is the green light to now let it turn the corner, path to the left, and then let it release. It's not a hang on. Let it release back under the left shoulder with what we call a little layback in the face. See the club face there kind of looking back towards the camera, and you see that a lot with players, and they can achieve that because they've got that face so prepared coming down. They don't let that face get too open, or then they got to take on a lot of roll through the strike. There are players that do that. It's certainly a pattern. But what you're seeing here is you're seeing that face prepared coming down, and then as he turns the corner, he lets it release. He lets the left wrist kind of work back into extension this way and turn the corner back under the left shoulder and have some layback in the face. Beautiful pattern. This is the golf swing that doesn't get enough credit, And I think when you're looking at, you know, kind of mastering this perfect little power fade that has depth at the top of the swing, good turn, power fade that has a square club face, not open, power fade that kind of gets the club back out in front, or I should say the lead arm back out in front, power fade that's really working the path to the left with no side swipe, no hang on, full release, turning the corner back around to the other side. Excellent golf swing, a swing that I don't think gets enough credit. Sam Burns, I've been touting him since he got onto the PGA Tour in 2017. His longtime coach, Brad Pullen, has done a terrific job with him. It's going to be fun to watch him for the rest of his career because he's become a real star in the PGA Tour.